Growing up, I've always heard that the 80s decade was the best. I think I just found the kicks that confirm this. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, thanks a lot for coming back and joining our channel. My name is Devagaro and I am delighted for having all of you here with me today so we can do another review. Today we have a very special and curated type of unboxing. These sneakers are something very different. I want to expose all of you to them, and I hope that what we can achieve today is having an ability to transcend, an ability to think outside the box, and maybe just to pump the brakes a little bit in terms of all the hype that's going on with all of the Jordans in 2017 and part of 2018. Now after that we have all the Dunks. I want to expose you to something different, to give you a glimpse into what could be out there, what could be the future of sneakers and in terms of style. And at the end of the day, I think that this channel, I wanted to have this capacity of ensuring that it has its own identity and it's not just chasing everybody else. So with these sneakers, I think we're gonna be able to achieve this. So I got the box, came through FedEx, have it right here. Let's put it up so y'all can see it. And yeah, it's pretty big. So let me just start off by opening it up. Some of you guys may already have an idea just by the color of the box, or maybe not. But here you go. It's a Nike SB. So let me go ahead and just place this right here for a moment. And we can go ahead and just slide that right over there. So the sneakers that we're gonna look at today are the Air Force 2 Nike SB. Some of you may be scratching your head thinking, hey, Devagaro, are you drinking something or are you on something? Because I do know Air Force 1s, but not Air Force 2s and SBs. So that's exactly, if you're asking yourself that same question, then we're in the right direction, because that's the whole point about this video. First thing is, I got these off of Farfetch, and they work very closely with Stadium Goods. So I got these, I'm very happy. The price was great. This sneaker, as you can see it over here, looks very, very similar to the Dunks, and I just think it's out of this world. I'm very happy that I was able to secure this pair in my size. It was actually the very last one. And just to give you guys a little bit of background, the Air Force 2s or AF2s, however you want to call them, they date back to 1986. Originally being introduced as a basketball shoe. There are lows and there's also highs. It was retroed for the first time back in 2002. So after a couple of years that went by, I think it was somewhere around 20 releases, 2002 2003 to let's say 2005, Nike just slowed things down a little bit more. And what they did is back in 2009, they actually reintroduced, I would say that that's the second time that they would, let's say, re-retro the AF2s. The big difference though was that originally, up to that point, the Air Force 2s were $65. So they bumped up the price to $95 or euros, and the rest is history. So at this point in time, it's still at that price point, which is very, very, very accessible. A Gucci theme sneaker, although for total transparency and clarification, this is not a collab between Nike SB and Gucci. But you can see the forest green, the black, the swoosh in blood red. So, you know, it obviously it lines up pretty well with that colorway and that whole theme. So that's the first thing. Next, I'm sure some of you guys might have already noticed and recognized this very interesting detail here at the bottom. And what it is the Air branding that some of you may recognize from the Air Force One. Starting from the front, we can see that the Air Force 2 is equipped with a toe box consisting out of leather, and then it has this wrapping on the toes, all around the toes, which is actually suede. Then on the mid side over here of the shoe, you can appreciate the Nike swoosh in red blood, as well as a combination of leather and suede. Now, here's where I really think it gets very interesting, is that the mid panel here on the side, and you can see that as well on the other side, is actually perforated. So to me, that gives the sneaker a bit of a different vibe, and it makes it more sporty, more like tennis-like, I would say, to that matter. So I think that that's very cool, because nowadays we don't see these punches over here, these punches in leather. If we look at the back on the heel, there is a heel clip for support, and which possesses Nike branding in the back, and this is made out of rubber. So I think, so over here you have a little bit, let's say, of the sock liner in the heel on the top, which is like mesh. Then we have a little strip here of suede, and then we have plastic with very prominent Nike branding with no swoosh, but just your traditional retro Nike branding. Then as we progress on top in the area of the laces, we can see forest green laces, and then we have something, a very nice hit over here, are 3 on either side of eye sitters or eye holders. So that's pretty cool, because it just contrasts those two colors so well. I think that this is such a cool shoe because it has a lot of elements of dunks, and it has also elements of the Air Force One. Moving along a little lower, we have a full white midsole, which in my opinion brings together the whole shoe, the whole sneaker, and it balances it out. So we have darker shades on top, as well as the outsole, which has your Nike SB branding, and it has a bit of an indentation in the middle, like next to your arch. This would be your arch section. So let's say a little bit towards the heel on the center to back side of your foot has an indentation here. And I would say that the outsole looks very similar to the dunks. So you have black, you have red, and you have a hit of green here. So all the colors that are represented on top on the sneaker are also represented in the outsole. It brings me to the next point, which is the tongue. The tongue has a gold hit. So it's very elegant in my view. It has these little details, very subtle details, which it's not an in-your-face type of a shoe, but it has details here and there that bring it together. The insole features Nike Zoom Air unit, where you have a bit more cushioning in the backside of the heel. I would say that it's a very thick insole to give you added support, plus the Zoom Air module in the back. Don't say I didn't tell you if in a few months or in a few years the Air Force 2s actually take off flight. From a sizing point of view, I recommend you're true to size in your Nike Dunks. I think it's time to give these bangers a test ride. Let's do it. In conclusion, I would say that these are very, very solid. I don't know why folks are not paying a closer look at these. Once again, thank you very much for joining, and I really appreciate all of you guys. I hope that this was informative and interesting review going back to the 80s, which will help form a better sneaker philosophy for each and every single one of you. So thanks a lot. And again, let me know in the comments section down below if this was interesting, if this is something that you would be looking forward to. And just tell me, just in general, what are your impressions of the AF2s? Should they also be collabing this silhouette with some of the main streetwear brands or designer fashion brands? Let me know your thoughts. And that's it. Thanks a lot. You know it better than anybody. Always fresh, never stress. Until next time.